In the far north of our world lies a vast and silent kingdom. It is a land shaped by ice and wind, a place of profound beauty and unforgiving cold. Here, the world seems to stretch on forever, painted in endless shades of white and blue. The sun hangs low in the sky for months, casting long, ethereal shadows across the frozen plains. It is a landscape that appears empty at first glance, a stark and desolate expanse. But this perception is misleading. Life here is not absent. It is simply more subtle, more resilient. It clings to existence with a tenacity born from the harshest conditions imaginable. The air itself feels ancient, carrying whispers of a world untouched by the clamor of modern life. The silence is a living thing, broken only by the mournful cry of the wind or the distant, thunderous crack of a glacier calving into the sea. Each sound carries for miles, a testament to the sheer emptiness of the space. Every gust of wind sculpts the snow into intricate flowing dunes, constantly reshaping the terrain. This is the Arctic, a great white theater where the drama of survival unfolds each and every day. It is a stage where the actors must be masters of their craft, for a single mistake can mean the difference between life and death. The cold is a constant presence, a relentless pressure that dictates the rhythm of all things. Beneath the sweeping skies, which can shift from a brilliant, clear blue to an oppressive blanket of gray in mere moments, life persists. It is found in the dark, frigid waters beneath the ice and in the burrows hidden deep within the snow. The creatures that call this place home have adapted over millennia, developing extraordinary strategies to endure. They are not merely inhabitants of this world. They are an integral part of it, woven into the very fabric of its existence. Their stories are not often told, their struggles largely unseen. Yet their lives are a powerful testament to the enduring strength of nature in its most extreme form. Here, time itself seems to move differently. The slow, deliberate march of the seasons governs all. The long, dark winter gives way to a brief but brilliant summer, a fleeting period of abundance when the land awakens. It is a cycle of scarcity and plenty, of darkness and light. To survive here is to understand this rhythm, to move in harmony with the pulse of the Arctic. For those who can, this frozen wilderness offers a home of unparalleled majesty. It is a world of stark contrasts, where the struggle for life creates a story of breathtaking power and quiet dignity. At the very top of this frozen world reigns a magnificent and powerful predator, the polar bear. It is the largest land carnivore on Earth, a true king of the ice. Its thick white coat provides not only warmth, but also perfect camouflage against the snow and ice, making it a nearly invisible hunter in this monochromatic landscape. Every feature of this animal is exquisitely designed for survival here. Its massive paws, covered in rough pads and non-retractable claws, give it a firm grip on the slippery ice. They also act as powerful paddles when it swims through the frigid Arctic waters, which it does with surprising grace and stamina. The polar bear's life is inextricably linked to the sea ice. It is from this floating platform that it hunts its primary prey seals. The bear is a patient hunter, a master of stillness. It can wait for hours, motionless, beside a breathing hole in the ice, waiting for a seal to surface for air. Its sense of smell is extraordinary, capable of detecting a seal from nearly 20 miles away. This keen sense guides it across the vast, seemingly featureless expanse of the ice, leading it to the promise of a meal. The bear wanders this kingdom not as a visitor, but as its rightful ruler, its presence defining the very essence of the Arctic wilderness. Survival for the polar bear is a constant search for food. The energy required to stay warm and to travel such immense distances is enormous. A successful hunt can sustain it for days, but failure is a common and dangerous reality. The bear must conserve its energy, choosing its moments to strike with careful deliberation. An unsuccessful chase can be costly, wasting precious calories that are difficult to replace. This is a life lived on the edge, a perpetual balance between energy spent and energy gained. Every decision, from which path to take across the ice to when to rest, carries immense weight. This great white bear is more than just a predator. It is a symbol of the Arctic itself. Its power and resilience mirror the untamed spirit of this wild place. To see a polar bear moving across the ice is to witness something ancient and profound. It is a silent, solitary journey through a landscape that is both its sanctuary and its greatest challenge. The story of the polar bear is the story of the Arctic ice, a tale of strength, endurance, and a deep, primal connection to a world that few others could ever hope to conquer. Its reign is absolute, but it is a reign dependent on the fragile foundation of ice beneath its paws. Far smaller than the great polar bear, but no less skilled in the art of survival, is the Arctic fox. This creature is a master of adaptation, a true shadow in the snow. Its most remarkable feature is its coat, which changes with the seasons. In winter, it is a brilliant, pure white, providing the fox with near-perfect camouflage against the snowy landscape. As it moves, it seems to melt into its surroundings, becoming a fleeting whisper of movement, a ghost against the endless white. This coat is not just for hiding. It is incredibly dense, with a thick underfur that traps air and provides insulation against the brutal cold. The Arctic fox is an opportunistic hunter and a relentless scavenger. Its diet is varied, a necessity in a land where food can be scarce. It preys on lemmings, voles, and the chicks of nesting birds during the brief summer. But in the long, harsh winter, it often relies on the leftovers from the polar bear's kills. The fox will follow the great bears from a safe distance, a small, patient shadow trailing the king of the ice. When the bear has finished its meal, the fox moves in to feast on the scraps. This relationship is a classic example of how life in the Arctic is interconnected, with the survival of one species often depending on the actions of another. Hunting requires immense skill and patience. The fox's hearing is exceptionally acute. It can stand perfectly still, its head cocked, listening for the faint sounds of lemmings moving in their tunnels deep beneath the snow. Once it pinpoints the location of its prey, it performs a remarkable feat. It leaps high into the air, then dives headfirst into the snowpack, plunging down to snatch the unsuspecting rodent. This behavior, known as mousing, is a unique and highly effective hunting technique, a testament to the fox's specialized adaptations for this challenging environment. The life of an Arctic fox is one of constant vigilance and resourcefulness. It must navigate a world of extreme temperatures, shifting ice, and formidable predators. Its small size makes it vulnerable, yet it thrives through its cleverness and adaptability. The fox digs complex dens in the frozen ground, often with multiple entrances, providing shelter from the biting wind and a safe place to raise its young. In this vast and unforgiving land, the Arctic fox proves that survival is not just about size and strength, but also about intelligence, patience, and the ability to disappear into the white, silent world. Another silent hunter patrols the skies and perches on the high points of the tundra. The snowy owl. With its striking white plumage and piercing yellow eyes, it is a breathtaking sight against the Arctic landscape. Like the Arctic fox, its coloration provides excellent camouflage, especially for the males, which are almost completely white. The females and young owls are marked with dark bars, which help them blend in with the mottled terrain of the summer tundra. These magnificent birds are built for the cold, with dense layers of feathers covering their entire bodies, right down to their talons, protecting them from the freezing ground. The snowy owl is a patient and powerful predator. It often hunts from a low perch, such as a rock outcropping or a small rise in the land, where it can survey the vast, open terrain. Its eyesight is incredibly sharp, allowing it to spot the slightest movement of prey from a great distance. Unlike many other owls, the snowy owl is often active during the day, a necessary adaptation to the land of the midnight sun, where summer days are endless. It sits with an unnerving stillness, its head swiveling almost a full circle, missing nothing that happens in its domain. When prey is spotted, the owl launches into the air, its broad wings beating with powerful, silent strokes. It flies low over the ground, its flight almost soundless, a quality that gives it a ghostly and lethal advantage. Its primary food source is the lemming, and the population cycles of these small rodents have a profound impact on the owl's own survival and breeding success. In years when lemmings are abundant, snowy owls may raise large broods of chicks. But when the lemming population crashes, the owls face starvation and may not breed at all, forced to wander far and wide in search of food. This reliance on a single, fluctuating food source makes the snowy owl's existence precarious. It is a life tied to a rhythm of boom and bust. Yet this bird is a symbol of resilience, a silent guardian of the tundra. Its presence indicates a healthy, functioning ecosystem. The sight of a snowy owl gliding over the snow is a reminder of the wild, untamed spirit of the Arctic. It is a ghost of the tundra, a beautiful and deadly hunter that embodies the quiet intensity and stark beauty of its frozen home, a master of survival in a world of white. In the Arctic, nothing exists in isolation. The lives of the polar bear, the Arctic fox, and the snowy owl are deeply intertwined, not just with each other, but with the entire web of life in this frozen realm. They are the apex predators, the conductors of a complex symphony of survival. Their actions ripple through the ecosystem, shaping the populations of the animals they hunt and influencing the very landscape they inhabit. The polar bear, by hunting seals, helps to control their numbers, preventing them from overgrazing the populations of Arctic cod and other fish. This maintains a crucial balance in the marine environment. The relationship between the polar bear and the Arctic fox is a perfect illustration of this interconnectedness. The fox, by scavenging the bear's leftovers, gains access to a vital food source that would otherwise be unavailable, especially during the lean winter months. This allows the fox population to survive when other prey is scarce. In turn, the fox helps to clean the environment, ensuring that nothing goes to waste. It is a partnership born of necessity, a silent agreement between the king of the ice and the shadow in the snow. Each plays its part, contributing to the overall stability of the system. Similarly, the snowy owl's reliance on lemmings creates a powerful cycle that affects the entire tundra. In years of lemming abundance, the owls thrive, and their presence helps to keep the rodent population in check. This, in turn, prevents the lemmings from overgrazing the sparse Arctic vegetation, which is vital for other herbivores like caribou and muskoxen. When the lemming population inevitably crashes, the owls must disperse, and the vegetation has a chance to recover. The owl is therefore not just a hunter, it is a gardener of the tundra, its life inextricably linked to the health of the land itself. This intricate dance of predator and prey is the engine that drives the Arctic ecosystem. It is a system forged over millennia of adaptation and coevolution. Every creature has a role to play, from the smallest lemming burrowing beneath the snow to the great polar bear roaming the sea ice. The predators are not villains in this drama. They are essential architects of balance. Their hunts, their struggles, and their very existence ensure that the symphony of survival continues, maintaining the delicate equilibrium that allows life to flourish in one of the most challenging environments on Earth. The hunt is the central drama of the Arctic, a moment of intense focus where the line between life and death is drawn with stark clarity. For the snowy owl, the hunt begins with profound stillness. Perched atop a frost-covered boulder, it is a statue of white feathers, its brilliant yellow eyes the only sign of the fierce life within. It scans the vast, undulating expanse of snow, a landscape that, appears barren to most. But the owl sees and hears what others cannot. It is listening for the faintest scratch, the subtle rustle of a lemming moving in its hidden network of tunnels beneath the thick blanket of snow. Suddenly, its head tilts, its focus locked onto a single, invisible point. The decision is made. It launches from its perch, its powerful wings unfolding to their full, impressive span. There is no sound. The specialized structure of its flight feathers muffles the air, rendering its approach utterly silent. It glides low, a white phantom against the white snow, its gaze fixed on its target. The moment is one of pure, predatory grace. It is the culmination of hours of patience and a lifetime of instinct, a perfect expression of its role as a hunter of the open tundra. The final moments are swift and precise. As it closes in, the owl pulls its wings back and thrusts its formidable talons forward. These are not just feet, they are lethal weapons, sharp as needles and backed by immense crushing power. It plunges into the snow, disappearing for a second in a puff of white. When it emerges, the struggle is already over. A lemming, which had been safe in its subnivean world just moments before, is now held fast. The owl has secured a vital meal, fuel to endure the biting cold, and to perhaps feed the hungry mouths waiting in a nest nearby. This act, repeated thousands of times across the tundra, is more than just a hunt for a single meal. It is a critical transfer of energy that sustains the ecosystem. The owl, by preying on the lemming, becomes a link in the food chain, connecting the life hidden beneath the snow to the vast, open world above. Each successful hunt is a small victory in the ongoing struggle for survival, a testament to the owl's mastery of its environment. It is a silent, deadly, and profoundly beautiful display of nature's efficiency, a vital act in the great theater of the Arctic. The Arctic appears robust, a fortress of ice and rock. Yet the ecosystem that thrives here is incredibly delicate. The balance is maintained by a fine thread, and the predators are the ones who hold it taut. Their role is not one of cruelty, but of necessity. They are the regulators, the force that prevents any single species from overwhelming the fragile environment. Without the polar bear, seal populations could expand unchecked, placing immense pressure on the fish stocks beneath the ice. The entire marine food web, so vital to the Arctic, would be thrown into disarray by the absence of its apex predator. This regulatory role extends to every level of the food chain. The Arctic fox, by preying on smaller mammals and birds, helps to control their numbers and maintain a healthy diversity of species. In years when their primary food sources are scarce, their scavenging habits become even more critical. They ensure that the energy from a large kill, like a seal or a whale carcass, is distributed throughout the ecosystem, feeding not just themselves, but also supporting other scavengers. They are the cleanup crew, the ultimate recyclers in a world where nothing can be afforded to go to waste. The snowy owl's connection to the lemming cycle is perhaps the most dramatic example of this delicate balance. The periodic rise and fall of the lemming population is a natural rhythm of the tundra. The owls respond to this rhythm, their own numbers swelling and shrinking in turn. This predator-prey dynamic is essential for the health of the land itself. The owls prevent the lemmings from destroying the vegetation, which in turn supports a host of other life forms, from insects to caribou. The owl is a keystone species, and its fate is a barometer for the health of the entire tundra ecosystem. It is a system built on interdependence. The health of the predators is a direct reflection of the health of the world they inhabit. If the prey animals suffer, the predators will suffer. If the ice melts or the vegetation fails, the entire structure is threatened. Every living thing, from the plankton in the water to the lichen on the rocks, is a vital part of this intricate web. The predators, in their constant quest for survival, are the guardians of this balance, the unsung heroes whose daily struggles ensure the continued existence of this beautiful and fragile world. The stage on which this drama unfolds is not static. It is a world in constant motion, a realm of shifting ice and changing seasons. The sea ice, the very foundation of the polar bear's existence, is a dynamic and ever-changing platform. It expands in the crushing cold of winter, locking the ocean in its grip. Then, with the return of the sun, it retreats, breaking apart into a mosaic of flows separated by channels of open water. For the polar bear, navigating this shifting world is a fundamental challenge. It must read the ice, understanding its weaknesses and strengths, to travel and hunt effectively. This seasonal transformation dictates the rhythm of life for all Arctic inhabitants. The brief summer is a time of frantic activity. The 24-hour daylight fuels an explosion of life. Plankton blooms in the nutrient-rich waters, feeding the fish that support the seals. On land, the snow melts to reveal the tundra, and migratory birds arrive by the millions to nest and raise their young. It is a short, precious window of abundance, and every creature must make the most of it. The Arctic fox raises its large litters, and the snowy owl hunts relentlessly to feed its growing chicks. It is a race against time before the cold returns. Then comes the long, dark winter. The sun dips below the horizon, not to return for months. Temperatures plummet to unimaginable lows, and the wind howls across the frozen landscape. The sea ice solidifies, and the world is once again plunged into a state of suspended animation. For the predators, this is the ultimate test of endurance. Food becomes incredibly scarce. The polar bear must wander vast distances in search of breathing holes. The Arctic fox must rely on its wits and its scavenging abilities. The snowy owl may be forced to migrate south in search of sustenance. This constant flux is the defining characteristic of the Arctic. It is a world of impermanence, where the ground beneath one's feet can literally drift away. The animals that live here are not just adapted to the cold, they are adapted to this state of perpetual change. Their survival depends on their ability to respond to the shifting seasons and the unpredictable nature of the ice. They are masters of a world that is never the same from one day to the next. Their lives a testament to the remarkable power of adaptation in the face of constant uncertainty. In this vast and silent land of ice and snow, a timeless story of survival continues to unfold. The predators of the Arctic, the great polar bear, the clever fox, the ghostly owl, are the central figures in this epic. They are not villains, but heroes. Their lives are a testament to strength, resilience, and a profound connection to their environment. They endure conditions that would seem impossible to us, navigating a world of bitter cold, profound darkness, and constant uncertainty. Their every action is driven by the fundamental need to survive, to find food, and to see another day. They are the architects of balance, the guardians of a fragile ecosystem. Through their hunts, they regulate the populations of other species, ensuring that no single element overwhelms the whole. They are the force that maintains the health and stability of this extraordinary world. The polar bear's patrol of the sea ice, the fox's patient scavenging, the owl's silent flight, all are vital contributions to the symphony of life. They are not merely inhabitants of the Arctic, they are its very essence, the embodiment of its wild and untamed spirit. Their presence defines this place. Their struggles are largely unseen, their stories rarely told. They face their challenges in solitude, against a backdrop of breathtaking and unforgiving beauty. These are not battles fought for glory or recognition, but for the simple, profound purpose of existence. They are the unsung heroes of the North, their lives a quiet but powerful lesson in endurance. To witness them is to be humbled by the sheer force of nature and the incredible adaptations that allow life to thrive in the most extreme corners of our planet. As we look upon this frozen kingdom, we must remember the creatures that call it home. Their future is inextricably linked to the future of the ice and snow. They are a living reminder of a world that is both powerful and delicate, a world that deserves our respect and our protection. The great drama of the Arctic continues, as it has for millennia, written in the snow and carried on the wind. It is the story of its predators, the magnificent and resilient heroes who reign over the great white theater at the top of the world.